Welcome to Week 6 of Summer Reading with Mooresville Public Library. I'm Miss Megan, your favorite teen librarian, bringing you more fantastic reads. As our summer reading program comes to an end, think about what your next journey or quest will be. Maybe some of these books will spark your imagination and understanding. If one of your quests is to write a book, this one's for you. How This Book Was Made is written by Mac Barnett. He uses humor and terrific illustrations from Adam Rex to show everything that goes into getting a book published and onto shelves for readers like you. Wordless picture books are one of my favorite types of books. I love looking at the illustrations, trying to figure out what the artist wants to say. This 3-book series by Aaron Becker starts with Journey, followed by Quest, and ending with Return. Journey introduces us to a lonely girl who uses her imagination and colored chalk to take a journey to places unknown. Have you ever moved to another home? Maybe it was just across town or to another state. In Marwan's Journey by Patricia de Arias, Marwan is a young boy traveling across multiple countries to find a new home. Will he find peace in this new place? Or will he be able to return to his old home? North, south, east, west are the directions in which a little bird has a choice to fly when it's time to leave the nest. She tries them all before settling on the one that fits her best. This book is written by Margaret Weiss Brown and illustrated by Greg Pizzoli. Mapping Sam by Joyce Hesselberth follows Sam the cat as she travels through the neighborhood at night. This book is a great introduction to map skills, constellations, and mazes. A Good Night Walk by Alicia Cooper takes us through a neighborhood from afternoon to evening and into the next morning. What sights, sounds, and scents do you find around where you live? Another wordless book, Bee and Me by Allison J., shares the important place plants have in the life of a bee and how much life bees actually bring to a neighborhood. Everything and Everywhere by Mark Martin is a fact-filled book with Where's Waldo-like illustrations. Visit multiple places around the world and learn new facts, like 60% of the world's Atlantic puffins nest in Iceland. This is definitely a book you'll want to read more than once. Ranger Rick's Kid's Guide to Hiking is a great resource for young, beginning hikers. Where to hike, what times of the year and day to hike, what to wear, and what to bring is all laid out in an easy-to-read, chapter-by-chapter format. The Tabletop Wars series by Ron Ives provides hours of fun activities to wage war on any table. Perfect for acting out battle scenes for that story you're writing. Running Wild by Lucy Jane Bledsoe introduces us to 12-year-old Willa and her twin brothers, who have survived with their father in the Alaskan wilderness for 5 years. But Willa knows this can't go on. They must escape. When their father leaves on a hunting expedition by himself, Willa gathers her brothers to make the 4-day trip down the Yukon River to get help. But first, they must survive the treacherous journey with their father on their trail. In Forever or a Long, Long Time by Kayla Carter, Flora and her brother Julian don't believe they were born. They've lived in so many foster homes, they can't remember where they came from. And even now that they've been adopted, Flora still struggles to believe in forever. So, along with their new mother, Flora and Julian begin a journey to go back and discover their past. For only then can they really begin to build their future. Refugee 87 by Elle Fountain is based on real experiences. Schiff has a happy life, unfamiliar with the horrors of his country's regime. He is one of the smartest boys in school and feels safe and loved in the home he shares with his mother and little sister, right next door to his best friend. But the day that soldiers arrive at his door, Schiff knows that he will never be safe again. His only choice is to run. Facing both unthinkable cruelty and boundless kindness, Schiff bravely makes his way towards a future he can barely imagine. How to go on an unplanned road trip with your grandma. Grab a suitcase, pre-packed from the big spring break trip that got canceled. Fasten your seatbelt. Gma's never conventional, so this trip won't be either. Use the Green Book, Gma's most trusted possession. It holds history, memories, and most important, the way home. What not to bring? A cell phone. Avoid contact with Dad at all costs, even when Gma starts acting stranger than usual. Clean Getaway by Nick Stone is set against the backdrop of the segregation history of the American South. Take a trip with Scoob, an 11-year-old boy who is about to discover the world hasn't always been a welcoming place for kids like him, and things aren't always what they seem, his Gma included. The Box That Watch Found by Gertrude Chandler Warner is part of the Boxcar Children's series. One day in the park, the Alden's dog, Watch, comes across a mysterious box with a note inside. "Congratulations," the note says. "You found it." The box is part of a fun new treasure hunting game. This book ties directly to geocaching, so I had to add it. Soupy Leaves Home by Cecil Castellucci is set in 1932. It's the story of two misfits with no place to call home, who build a relationship during a train hopping journey from the cold heartbreak of their eastern homes toward the sunny promise of California. Pearl Soupy Plankette ran away from her abusive father, but has nowhere to go until she stumbles upon a disguise that gives her the key to a new identity. Reborn as a boy named Soupy, she hitches her star to Remy Ramshackle Smith, a hobo who takes her under his wing. Ramshackle's kindness and protection go a long way to help Soupy heal from her difficult past. But Ramshackle has his own demons to wrestle with, and he'll need Soupy just as much as she needs him. Pilu of the Woods by Mai K. Nguyen stars Willow, who loves the woods near her house. They're calm and quiet, so different from her own turbulent emotions, which she keeps locked away. When her emotions get the better of her one day, she decides to run away into the woods. There, she meets Pilu, a lost tree spirit who can't find her way back home, which turns out to be the magnolia grove Willow's mom used to take her to. Willow offers to help Pilu, and the two quickly become friends. But the journey is long, and Pilu isn't sure she's ready to return home yet, which infuriates Willow, who's determined to make up her own mistakes by getting Pilu back safely. As the storm rages and Willow's emotions bubble to the surface, they suddenly take on a physical form, putting both girls in danger, and forcing Willow to confront her inner feelings once and for all. The Cardboard Kingdom by Chad Sell is a collection of stories from multiple authors. Welcome to a neighborhood of kids who transform ordinary boxes into colorful costumes, and their ordinary block into a cardboard kingdom. This is the summer when 16 kids encounter knights and rogues, robots and monsters, and their own inner demons, on one last quest before school starts again. In the Cardboard Kingdom, you can be anything you want to be. When everything has been taken from you, what else is there to do but run? So that's what Annabelle does. She runs from Seattle to Washington, D.C., through mountain passes and suburban landscapes, from long, lonely roads to college towns. She's not ready to think about the why yet, just the how. Muscles burning, heart pumping, feet pounding the earth. But no matter how hard she tries, she can't outrun the tragedy from the past year, or the person, the taker, that haunts her. Followed by Grandpa Ed in his RV, and backed by her brother and two friends, her self-appointed publicity team, Annabelle becomes a reluctant activist as people connect her journey to the trauma from her past. Her cross-country run gains media attention, and she is cheered on as she crosses state borders, and is even thrown a block party and given gifts. The support would be nice if Annabelle could escape the guilt and shame about what happened back home. They say it isn't her fault, but she can't feel the truth of that. Through welcome and unwelcome distractions, she just keeps running, to the destination that awaits her. There, she'll finally face what lies behind her, the miles of love and loss, and what is to come. A Heart and a Body in the World by Deb Coletti. Meet Floyd. He's a tennis star, possibly even good enough to win Wimbledon one day. Meet Mike. He's different. Apart from anything else, Floyd seems to be the only one who can see him. But Mike must have appeared for a reason, and finding out why is perhaps the most important thing Floyd will ever do. In the final days of the Vietnam War, Hong takes her little brother, Ling, to the airport, determined to find a way to safety in America. In a split second, he is ripped from her arms, and she is left behind in the war-torn country. 6 years later, Hong has made the brutal journey from Vietnam and is now in Texas as a refugee. She doesn't know how she will find her little brother, who was taken from her, until she meets Leroy, a city boy with big rodeo dreams, who decides to help her. Hong is overjoyed when she reunites with Ling, but when she realizes he doesn't remember her, their family, or Vietnam, her heart is crushed. Though the distance between them feels greater than ever, Hong has come so far that she will do anything to bridge the gap. Butterfly Yellow by Tong Ha Lai. Thanks for watching. As always, these books are available at Mooresville Public Library or through Evergreen, Indiana.